second edition of the Lean Cut podcast. We are your hosts and also shadow commissioners, Drew, Michael, and Ian over here. We got a big week in store for you guys. Second edition of the podcast. We're just getting our feet under us still, but we have a couple of segments we're excited to go through. Ian, why don't you go ahead and just get straight into the action? What happened in week 4?
Yeah, thanks, Drew. So we got a lot of blowouts, a lot of close games. Starting off with Drew versus Brian. Close one, 98-103 to Brian. Matthew Stafford almost blows it for him with only 6 points, throwing an interception. We got Alex Yates versus Nolan.
Whoa, Brian's
Nolan
first
takes
win
that
of
one, 106.
That was Brian's first win.
Is it his first win?
I think it was his first win. There was a couple first wins this week.
Good job, Brian. All right, so Nolan comes out on top, 106-96 over Alex. Joel Ryan, absolute bloodbath. Joel puts up 64 to Ryan's 132.
Another first
Dave
win.
versus Brett. Dave scores 109 to Brett's 129, giving him his virgin win. Josh Jacobs doing a lot of work there for Brett's team. And we got Chris dominating Michael. 149 to 99. Any comment there, Michael?
99.5.
Getting absolutely manhandled by TJ Hawkinson and Austin Eckler, who put up 60 points against you. All right, then we got
nuts.
Yeah, something like that. Moving on to our rivalry game, Texas Rats versus the Indy Corn Dogs. Brendan puts up 83, Taylor 84, squeaking out the win. And then that leaves me versus Austin. Huh? You got something to say about the rivalry game already?
I do. I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say I called that as a mixed picks. It was beautiful. Chef's kiss of a grudge match.
Yes. You finished patting yourself on the back.
I need something
Good
after
job,
that
Michael.
loss.
Good job, Michael. All right, and then I obviously came out on top against Austin.
You
Of
want
course,
to
as
hear?
we all knew we would.
Maybe I should save this for the mixed picks segment we're going to do at the end. But Michael almost spot on got his score against Chris, except for reverse. The final
Yeah,
score
I
of the
know.
game- the final score of the game in week 4 was 149 to 99.5. Michael's prediction was 145 to 99.5. Michael, you're some sort of seer. I'm just not sure it's the best one.
Oh,
I'm not Rain Man, I'm Main Ran.
I'm excited for
Oh,
Mixed
man.
Picks Week 5.
But yeah,
too,
we
me
got
too.
some good picks coming up. Just you wait, kids.
Oh my god. Well, our rivalry game lived up to the billing for sure, as you mentioned, Ian.
Yeah.
84-83 victory for Taylor. She is 3-1, drops Brendan to 0-4. He put up a fight, but at the end of the day, Taylor's team is showing why she is the quickest rising team in ESPN's projections, rising 11 spots in ESPN's, I'm going to call them their own power rankings. They had her projected last place to the end of the season. She's a projected 3rd now. Patrick Mahomes doing great for her. Maybe we should have predicted better. A team with Mahomes was never going to finish last place. ESPN, what are you doing? These were not our rankings. But yeah, huge week. Thank you for recapping that, Ian.
I just wanted to say, Drew, be careful. This is starting to sound like an actual fantasy football podcast.
It's getting too real.
You're starting to sound like ESPN a little bit.
I believe I caught some shit. I believe I caught some shit last week for predicting that rivalry matchup to be a low-scoring matchup. After Taylor's team put up, 140 the week before?
She did.
I think I predicted being low scoring too.
I think it was, last week she really put the hurt onto her fiance.
Yeah.
Of course,
Domestic abuse.
Pissed off Brian. Brian came back and kicked my ass this week. So thanks a fucking lot, T-Dog.
First, like I said earlier, first win for Brian, pulling it out against, one of the lesser teams in the league.
For real, I can't wait to see where I end up in the power rankings. We have a guest we have a guest coming on this week. They are not here quite yet. So in the meantime, I guess maybe
probably doing their notes.
Yeah, do you have other notes, or I was just gonna go straight into the power rankings?
No. I was saying the guest was working on their notes.
Okay. I'm sure our guests are
I definitely have lots of notes.
Just 2 power rankings.
All right,
I love
moving
the
right on
dead
to the
air.
power
That's great
rankings.
podcasting.
Yeah, it's good. Drew will take care of all that.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
Power rankings.
Michael, get off with it. Come on.
What? Drew, cut this.
Start the fucking
Oh,
power
power
rankings.
This is the
Power
best part of the
rankings, number-
podcast.
This is all getting cut.
5.
Okay,
5 power
sorry.
rankings. We're gonna start.
This is actually getting cut.
Oh man. Okay.
Just keep interrupting.
And out of the cut. Week 5 power rankings. We're gonna start number 14, as we do. Number 14 this week.
12 teams. Oh wait, no, we have 14.
teams, you dumbass.
We have
I gotta cut
14.
this too.
You're a commissioner.
Oh man.
Very professional.
Number 14
Not like
this
ESPN
week.
anymore.
Yeah, I appreciate us bringing it back down to our own level. Number 14 this week, I've got Brandon. Sorry.
What?
Brendan.
Those
Should
are
we take
fighting
it from the
words.
top for the 3rd time?
I wrote down
We
Brandon
really
to
should
be
probably
funny,
just
and then
start
I
over.
Oh,
All right,
man.
one more time, Michael. Take it from the top.
Number 14 this week, I've got Brendan. He's our only 0-4 team still. I mean, I couldn't, in good faith, put someone else lower than him at this point. I mean, hopefully he turns it around. I was talking a lot about the Texas Rats being a good journeyman team in the league, and I think it's going to come here soon. But right now, mismanagement is wrecking the team. So I got him at 14 this week.
No complaints here. Makes a lot of sense. 0-4 is just kind of embarrassing. I mean, it's been 4 weeks. You think you could squeak out a win? Although all right, that was a little harsh. He has had some bad luck, but this week, I really feel like, I mean, he said it himself. Just mismanagement.
Yeah,
led to his defeat this week.
let me add a little bit of color here. Brendan's team, for those of you who have not been following, has scored 70 points. Well, 69. It's a more fun number. Let's go with that. 69 more points than Joel's team, who has won a game, which means on average, Brendan over the first 4 games is scoring 17 more points per game than Joel. And yet Joel has squeaked out a win and Brendan hasn't. So I don't think this is going to last. I would think Brendan's going to jump Joel eventually. Joel has a golden opportunity to beat another team upcoming this week, though, which I'm sure is also towards the bottom of your power rankings, and we'll get there. Let's hear who you guys' number 13 is.
Number 13 this week. Sorry, buddy. I got Drew.
There you go.
Oh,
That's Joel. That's Joel's golden opportunity right there. He plays me, your number 13 team.
Let me check my notes. I had you ranked as
easy
10
win.
last week, and I think I had you slightly overranked. So, yeah, I put you at 13 this week. Lucky number 13. You talk a big game, but, I think you're 1-3.
1-3 equals 13. All right, Ian. Who you got at 13?
Yeah, I mean, at 13, I originally had Brian because, looking a little shaky. He did squeak out a win this week, but it was no, I mean, it wasn't, I mean, it was closer than I thought it was going to be for sure. You can blame some of that on Matthew Stafford going up against the 49ers defense, but really he just played poorly. I mean, 6 points, threw an interception. I think he had like 200 yards. Pretty rough.
Yeah.
I mean, his team overall is not that bad. It just seems like maybe he's having a tough spot, but I mean, come on. I got Brian. I had Brian down there. Drew, I'm not upset with Drew being in 13th either. I can see that. But
if you have me at
I had Brian down
12,
there.
if you have me at 12, it's a bit awkward because Brian, who you have at 13, just beat me.
I don't have you at 12. I see more potential in your team, and also
Wow.
I did no preparation at all for this. So this is my off-the-cuff gut feeling. You know, I don't go by the numbers. I see things
how we
between
like
the
it.
lines. These are my power rankings.
In line
You
with
heard
Lean
it.
Cut, you just trim the fat of any notes or prep work.
You
That's
heard
right.
it here. You heard it here first. Ian likes his fantasy football with no numbers.
That's right. No numbers at all. I like symbols, like a smiley face or a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That way I know how everybody's
Well-
performing.
Well, to get back to the power rankings, number 12, I've got a team with one smiley face and three frowny faces. I've got Joel.
Joel.
12 feels right for Joel.
I had Joel there as well. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else I can say, really. It just, I don't have a whole lot to add. It just, this week was just an absolute slaughter. Ryan putting up
It's a Ryan,
double his
too.
points. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Derrick Henry and Debo had a good week for Ryan, but still should be putting up more than 64 points under normal circumstances. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Joel 12.
Number 11 this week, I've got our most improved. Oh, and there's our guest for the week. Dave, we're in the middle of power rankings. We'll get to you here in a second.
Sit
Number
there-
11
sit
this week, I've
sit
got our
there
most
quietly.
improved. Number 11 this week, I've got our most improved. I got Brett. I wanted to put him higher. I really did. I don't know if he's ever going to put up 130-something points again. I love his team. Everyone
Seems
loves
unlikely.
the comebacks. You know,
Smothered and
I would
covered.
love to have Brett in the top 5. But,
Arrow up.
yeah, smothered and covered. Amazing team name.
Yeah, I have Brian. I have Brian 11. I think his team's got potential. Yes, he did be true.
Ian,
wait,
you had
no,
Brian
shit.
at 13.
What am I talking about? Sorry. I'm looking at the wrong numbers here. I have Drew at 11 and Brett at 10. So Brett's
Ian
not
doesn't-
far
Ian
off.
doesn't like
I do
numbers.
Think,
Ian doesn't like numbers because he's not good.
yeah, I don't like numbers. I don't
I didn't
like
come on
numbers.
the
Not a
podcast
banker.
of math.
That's right. I didn't. So I have, Drew 11, Brett 10. So I've got Brett barely above Drew.
Okay.
I like his team a little better than Drew's. That's what I got. Who you got for 10, Michael?
Number 10, I've got Austin, and I'm going to say it's a trending down 10. Austin needs to figure it out. I think he's in the wrong time zone or something. He can't get it together. He started out strong, but, you know, putting up less than 90 points the past 2 weeks, it's tough to have him in the top 10. So he's a trending down 10.
That's fair. I could see that.
Ian, I think you
I mean-
already said you had Brett at number 10.
I did.
I
have
want
Brett
to
at 10.
I want to add a quick research note real quick. I just looked back at last week. You had Brian, Ian, all the way up at 4, which means Brian's a big faller coming off of a win.
I will
shoot from
say,
the hip, all
actually,
right.
Ian cut out.
I go
think
with my
he forgot
gut.
that he hadn't placed Brian.
Are you sure you got the numbers
man.
mixed up and you didn't just get the names Brian and Brett mixed up with your handwriting?
BR.
You know, it's starting to sound suspiciously like you're questioning my method.
Do you
I
have a
take diligent
method?
notes all week. Yes. It's
Okay.
listen to what
Oh,
Michael
man.
says and then rearrange all of my rankings and then scramble to figure out where I can put them back. And
Like a good scramble QB. Ian's just the innovator.
that's right, I run the option.
Dave, you've got to go on mute, sir.
Can you fuck off, David? Are you eating a slushie?
I'm trying to finish my speedy freeze.
Jesus Christ. Hang up and come back later.
All right, I'm done.
All right. Number 9 this week, I've got Brian. Similar to Austin, he's a trending up 9. I think his team should be better than it is. Brian's got that killer spirit, so he's going to make some moves, I think. But, yeah, I've got him at number 9 this week.
Makes sense. I had Austin at 9. Similar reasons that you had him ranked down here. Seems like he's trending down. I honestly was not very confident coming into week 4, and for me to pull out a win, I mean, I think he might need to make some roster moves, to be honest. Try to make some trades, pick up some people on the waivers, make something happen.
Yeah. I'm going to say, before I say my next pick, because I forgot to say this, my 7 through, 11 this week were tough to pick. There's a lot of mediocre teams in our league right now. So I feel like you're all you middle people are kind of interchangeable with one another. But number 8 this week, I had Alex. I feel like Alex is floating under the radar. Like he's just a sneaky 8. We'll call him a sneaky 8. I had him at 11 this week, but he was kind of one of those interchangeable ones. He could have been anywhere in there.
Shockingly, I also had Alex at 8. Yeah, he just seems like kind of a middling team. Some weeks he's there, some weeks he's not. He's kind of middle of the road. He may get good and put up 120 points next week. You just never know.
Oh, man. Number 7 this week, I had Brian. Similar, yeah. He's kind of in the middle there. You don't know what Ryan's going to do. I'm sure he's going to tell us, he made trades that he needed to make, and that's what made the difference for him. But I don't know. I got him at 7. We'll see what he does next week. Who does he have next week? Does
You
anyone
guys are
know?
way overrating Ryan. He is my second
Really?
worst team in the power rankings, ahead of Joel. In my personal ones, I'm not going to share the whole list. This is not my segment, but it just for the record, I got it. Joel 14, Ryan 13, Brendan 12.
Let's not forget that you ranked yourself as 1 at the beginning of the season, and me and Michael both have you at 11 and 12, I think, respectively. So
No one has to listen to my picks. Throwing them out there.
Oh, man. Number 6 this week, I had T-Dog. I'm starting to like Taylor's team. League champ, Taylor's always solid. She's got a tough matchup next week. She's got a really tough matchup next week. If she fucks around with that 85 bullshit again, I'm going to smack her down. But, yeah, I've got her at 6 right now.
Ian, we need both 7 and 6 from you.
Oh, did I not do
Oh,
7?
sorry, I skipped.
I have Dave at 7. I have Dave down at 7. I mean, he's had a strong season so far, but to lose to Brett, smothered and covered. It's a tough loss this week.
He got smothered and covered.
Losing to a team with no wins so far in the season, and it's not even particularly close. So Dave's going to drop down to 7 in my rankings.
David is through the Fowler family gauntlet, going 1-1. That's just not going to get it done this year, I don't think.
The Fowler family gauntlet is like running through the hitting pads on running back, and they're hitting you with little pillows.
Ian, you say that like I didn't score points. I still scored points. Brett
I
just
didn't say you
fucking
didn't
popped
score
off.
points. You scored 109. He had 129. Josh Jacobs put up 31.5 for him with 2
that's
touchdowns.
bullshit.
Wow. Good enough to beat you, it seems.
Fucking.
Ian, who you got at 6? You better not have Ryan in your top 5.
I have Ryan at 6. I mean, it's hard to argue with the numbers here. I mean, you can argue that he had a lucky week, but absolute domination against Joel. 132 points. Derrick Henry, Deebo Samuels. Just a good game. And I've always been a Derrick Henry fan. Some people say he's starting to decline, but I'm a believer. Big Alabama boy.
Oh, man. Number 5 this
Move.
week, I've got David. No, it's trending down 5. David, fucking embarrassing. I actually got some on-the-ground quoting to follow up from last week. He wasn't willing to comment on it. Basically, their head coach didn't show up to the after-game interviews with the press. I mean, what are you going to do, David? Figure it out.
We'll
That's
come
fair.
back stronger. We took this one on the chin, I'll admit. We'll come back next week. We'll come back stronger. Just got to move past it. I already forgot about it. I'm still 3-0 in my mind.
Oh, boy. Who did
Number
you have
5,
at 5, Ian?
I have T-Dog at 5.
Yep.
I mean,
Good pick.
nothing really to talk about there. Just seems like where she's at right now.
Number 4 this week, I had Nolan. I think I had him right around the same spot last week. I had him at 5 last week. Nolan's sneaky top 5 right now, I feel like. He's the equivalent of Alex in the top 5. Just kind of sneaking around, doesn't talk a lot in the group. He's there. He's solid.
Yeah,
He's talked more this year than other years.
that's for sure.
He's the only one
Yeah.
whose name I don't have in my phone. So every time it's like a random phone number, it's him. And there's been some random phone number text in the group chat this year. Ian, who you got?
Ian,
I
what do you
also
have
had
for
Nolan
4?
at 4. It really pained me to put him this high
Okay.
on my rankings.
I think you had him
But,
like an
I
11
caught a
last
lot of
week or
flack.
something stupid low.
Yeah, I caught a lot of flack outside of the group chat personally for ranking him that low, and it made me do a lot of soul searching. And yes, I can't, in good conscience, put him any lower than 4. Although, we'll see what next week brings.
Nolan, a solid 4 this week.
He wins
Number 3
despite
this week, I
Melvin
had
Gordon
Ian,
having
yeah.
-2 on his roster.
Yeah.
Number 2, number 3.
Top
Sure.
Number 3. I'd be number
What?
3. You're bronze
Number
medal
3,
right now.
okay.
I like your team. Your team. I
okay.
think you've got some
All right.
places to go.
Well, number 3, I have Michael.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
I know. Despite losing to Chris, who just put up an absolutely monster week this week. I mean, yeah. I got you at 3.
I had myself at 2 this week. I talked a big game last week. We went out there and, sometimes the warm-up games early in the season just don't prepare you as much as you think they're going to for the big SEC-style matchups between powerhouse teams. Chris had a good week. I think I just had a couple guys not show up when they should have shown up. And, I think I still got a solid team. I think I'm going to beat Taylor this week. So I've got myself at number 2 still.
Ironically, I have myself at number 2. What matters is, can you win the games that count? Me versus Austin, playoff implications. We were both even footing coming into it, 2-1. I came out on top. I have the better team. I'm number 2.
And I guess that leaves us both to number 1. It's Chris. I'm not going to say
Chris.
anything else.
It's Chris. Hey, who else could it be? Certainly not Drew.
What is
Certainly
it about
not
Chris's
true.
team? It's not like Joe Burrow has been having a great season. What? Austin Eckler, Tyreek Hill, he had Hawkinson, got the best kicker in the game. His bench is so bad. Chris, here's a warning to you. Keep your team healthy. Go personally visit each of your players and give them foot massages after each game. Because if you start getting some injuries, and especially these bye weeks, man, there's potential here for this team to fall.
Definitely not a lot of depth, but he's making it work.
Making it work.
All right.
All right. Those are your week 5 power rankings.
Michael, why don't you introduce our lovely guest who's currently black screened right now?
Yeah,
It's me.
This week we I'm not
Scraped
gonna
the
lie to
bottom
the
of the
fans.
barrel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to the fans.
Yeah.
We tried to bring on Brett this week. He's too busy winning, and I think he said something about a champagne bath. In
I
his
think he's in
his
Vegas.
house since is he what? He
Celebrating.
told me he was going to Disneyland. Yeah, we tried to bring on Brett. It didn't happen, so we got Dave. That's what we got. We got Dave.
We should really try to bring on a winner next week.
Ian, who is Dave? Tell us.
Who is Dave?
Who is
How do I
Dave?
describe Dave? Just a wild card through and through. You never know what he's going to do next.
All I hear is I'm still 3-1, and everyone's just still punching up at me. That's all I can do.
No, Dave,
I'm
I do
3-1.
ranked at 5. I'm punching down at you.
Huh?
Yes,
No,
I
my
also
record.
have you ranked
I'm
much
looking at my
lower.
overall record. I'm not. Your power rankings don't mean shit.
Oh
All
man.
right, Dave. Thank you for joining.
Thanks for having me.
We have a segment that we're going to do for the first time on this podcast. It is called Overrated, Underrated. We're going to ask you a series of questions, and we would like you to answer whether or not this item is overrated or underrated. Maybe give us a short explanation why.
Item.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Item,
so-
object, thing, subject area. It
We're
could be
gonna throw something
you're not-
at you. You just tell us if it's
Is this
overrated or
related
underrated.
to the league?
Yes.
Perhaps.
And so the main
Some
rule
of
with
them.
overrated. Yeah, the main rule with overrated underrated is that you're not allowed to toe the line. You have to go one way or the other. It's
I have
either
to pick.
overrated or it's underrated. So I think Drew's got a couple
Can do.
things
You
prepared.
can't hem and haw. You
Um,
gotta pick one.
Yeah, no thinking about it either. You just got to
3,
say
2,
it off
1.
out of the heart.
Select.
Yep.
Yeah, gut reaction.
The first one we're going to do is one of the quarterbacks on your team, Aaron Rodgers. Overrated or underrated?
I'd have to go with overrated gut feeling. Yeah, he's
Really?
good. He's been
Bold.
good in the past. He's there's no arguing. He's old. I mean, watch him run around trying to run. I don't know if I can call him running, but he's just old. He's still putting up some points. I honestly haven't even been tracking his scores because I have my starters and I've been sticking with them. But I got to go overrated with him. He needs to retire.
How good can you expect him to
Hang up the
be?
cleats.
He's on ayahuasca. He goes
Not
out. He goes out
vaccinated.
there. He goes out there every week on hallucinogens.
But that's why I love him on my team. He just adds that flair.
Dave just likes
You added
having
it
fun
for the
on his bench.
lifestyle.
Speaking,
He's on my bench because he's a guy you can hang out with. You can talk to him on the bench. Maybe you're boozing a little bit on the sidelines. Who knows?
well, speaking of ingesting things, Dave, our next question for overrated, underrated is eating bugs.
Underrated.
Underrated. I
Highly
agree.
underrated. Source of protein, can't turn down some protein. A lot of times you get paid off of it in my experience. So
Hey, don't knock it until you
money,
try it.
Don't knock it until you try it. You hardly even taste it. Just a
Do you
little
think
bit of it in
Aaron
your mouth.
Rodgers? Do you think Aaron Rodgers eats bugs?
I'm willing to bet he's had one or two.
I bet he eats bugs. You seen his hair?
What are
willing
you
to
trying
bet.
to say, Ian?
I'm saying that dude definitely eats bugs.
Okay. Thanks for that insight.
That's what I'm
I
here
have to go
for.
look up a picture. I'm gonna have to now go pull a picture of Aaron Rodgers' hair just to showcase on the podcast to everyone. Not that anyone's watching anyway. I heard everyone listens to this. So, okay, Dave. the third question. Millions. Overrated or
Oh.
underrated?
Highly underrated. I love
Oh,
that.
really?
I mean,
Really?
I may have a biased opinion, but that place just doesn't, I don't know why that place isn't packed wall to wall every day of the week.
Why don't
I
why
spend
don't you give
many
a
a days there during the week. I love it.
The
Why
only
don't you
thing
give a
going
short
for that
description?
place.
Why don't you give a short
Uh,
description for those on the call that are unfamiliar with
Millions? It's one of those good old fashioned side of the road bars. You got a pool table, dart table, a couple bartenders. They may not be the cleanest, but some of them are cute. They're serving you cold beer. What more do you need?
I know I personally prefer my bartenders clean, but you do you, Dave.
He doesn't care if they're dirty as long as they're pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Our fourth question of overrated, underrated. Brett's team.
Brett's team. I mean, I didn't really hear your review, but just based off of this week, highly overrated. If that's what you're going on.
Based off the fact he just completely smacked you.
I'm looking at the overall season so far. Look at all 4 weeks. Yeah, he's going to have a good week here or there. But, it's bound to happen to everybody.
You're going to have to send him a Father's Day card this year.
He you could take this win. You can smack talk to me. That's fine. I'll take it. I lost. I lost. It is what it is. I'm coming back stronger. Brett's going nowhere.
We'll see about that.
Okay, and our final question, Dave. Overrated or underrated? Living with other dudes in your 20s.
So overrated.
Overrated. Define 20s, because 20s is a broad range. Lower 20s?
Are you in your 20s, Dave?
Yeah.
Early 20s, late 20s.
Later 20s.
We're all well into our late 20s.
Once you hit the late 20s,
Pretty much
it's
30.
Highly overrated. Living on your own.
Very nice.
Good stuff.
Dave has seen the light. Sounds like Ian has too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that concludes.
Well, it's overrated, underrated.
So I think that was a rousing success.
Thank you for being a willing participant, Dave.
You're welcome.
So, Dave, we brought you all the way here. Let's give you an open forum. Why don't you do like a 1 minute just ramble, anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, just free ball it.
I didn't prepare anything.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Well, the only thing I can
Do
think
some
of
slam
is
poetry.
all this smack talking going on in the chat right now. Everyone's throwing out some wild stuff this week, and I think we all just need to bring it in a little bit. It's early in the season. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's not that early. It's 25% of the way over.
Nah. I don't know.
$10 into our $40.
Is it too late for a refund?
Oh yeah, that
55.
money's way gone.
55
what
next
the
year.
market's
Everybody
doing?
get prepared.
How's that money being invested? Let's talk about that.
Dude, that money is gone. It was all in Facebook. I was all in Meta, baby.
Dave, if you were in charge of investing the league's money, where would you put it?
If I was in charge, I
You're
would
clearly not, but if you were.
clearly.
If you were the treasurer,
I would gold.
gold.
And I'd bury it somewhere.
Terrible.
$540 in gold buried in the backyard.
And then the winner just gets some gold. That's it. That's how we pay them out.
That sounds
It's
like
less than 2 ounces.
I was just gonna say, gold. That's like a very direct way of making a trophy for the league winner.
Yeah.
We should have a trophy. Should we have a trophy? Trophy, underrated or overrated, Dave?
Underrated.
Oof. I think it's going to be
I'd
up to the
like-
winner and on how they want to spend their money. There's a lot more money in the pot this year.
I'd like a good trophy.
Uh-oh.
Did Michael just?
Well, that's going to mess up the recording just like last week. So now we get another crappy broadcast.
Thanks, Michael.
We can't do mixed picks.
How much
without
of the
Michael.
Yeah, how are we
much of
supposed
the
to do?
winnings is going into the production value of this thing?
Not enough.
We need to bump those numbers up.
Ever since Hillary Clinton endorsed this podcasting software, the price has
Whoa.
shot up.
We'll do $1,000 buy-in next year and get a studio.
I'd be down in Cincinnati, right, Ian? In your new place?
In my new place. No. All right, Michael. Thanks for joining
I'm
us.
back.
Welcome back.
We were scared
Just
we
in
weren't
time
gonna
for
get
mixed picks. I'm excited.
Mixed Picks, Volume 2.
Lay it on me, Prophet.
Oh man, I'm gonna preface Mixed Picks. I want you all to imagine yourself. It's October 31st, 1971. You're in Columbus, Ohio. You're seeing it's the golden years. There's Keith Gotcha on piano, no Donna, so like all you haters, you just love it. But Mixed Picks Volume 2,
That's what I'm talking about.
we got some matchups this week.
Blasted on acid.
Blasted on acid. Oh man, Jerry's just up there with the guitar. But anyway, this week, the first matchup I want to talk about, it's kind of a bad news Bears versus the bad news Bears. I've got Brian at Brendan. Two down on their luck teams. Brendan really needs to turn it on this week. Wants to keep it up in the league, but I like that as Mixed Picks Volume 1. Score projection. Ooh. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on score projection?
Not going to be over 100, I bet.
I got
That's kinda what I was
Brendan. I got Brendan right at 100. I got Brian at like 87.
I got Brendan 93, Brian 88.
Oh, I'm thinking Brendan 95. I think he's going to put up more. 93 and a half for Brian. And it's going to come down. I don't know when they have people playing, but it's going to come down to the last game.
I think it's gonna be 69 to 69.
Ooh, a tie. That's an interesting pick.
That was the
Bold.
interesting part.
Oh, man.
There is
Yeah.
Darren Waller, the tight end for Brian, playing on Monday night. So
Yeah.
You heard
I
it
think it's
from-
going to come down to Darren Waller.
you heard it from Mr. Mick himself, Darren Waller. That Monday night game, he's going to be trying to bring Brian back, and he's going to fall just short.
Just short. Game 2 this week for Mixed Picks. I got Chris versus Ian. That's going to be our top level matchup this week. You got to have some of the heavy hitters up there. I think Ian's going to show him the business. I think it's going to be like 120 for Ian, maybe 104 for Chris. I think Chris might talk a big game in the league after he hears this, but I think Ian's going to pull it off this week.
Wow. A rare vote of confidence. Thanks, Michael. I wish I could say
Oh,
the
I got
same.
you at 3.
Well, yeah. But you have Chris at 1.
Yeah, but fuck Chris.
Everybody
no
loves
Alex.
underdog. That's true.
Drew, thoughts?
I like Chris in this one. I don't think he's getting into his bye week troubles just yet. His team's still just healthy enough. I think he continues to roll. I got Chris. Lower score than usual. I don't think Ian's going to score as much. I got it like 95 to 85.
I look at my roster. I have a hard time coming up with 120 points, if I'm being honest.
It was a vote of confidence, Ian. Take it.
I love it. Thank you. I'll do my best.
In week 3 or week 3, game 3 this week for Mixed Picks, I think this might be our marquee matchup. I've got Brett versus Ryan. I think that's 2 turnaround teams. I think that's going to be the grudge match this week. I think that's going to be the game that it's just going to be a tough one. I think you got 2 teams there that both need a bad win or need a win bad. I think Brett's going to squeak it out. I think Ryan's going to get overconfident, overthink it, drop too many people on his team, but I think it's going to be a close one.
Thanks for
I'm thinking, yeah, I think it's going to be 95 for Brett to 92 for Ryan.
Michael, you accidentally said instead of they need a win bad, that it's going to be a bad win. It's going to be a bad win. These are not good wins. This is
No.
but these are necessary if you want to avoid the Skyline Chili challenge at the end of the year. I know you guys are a little bit higher on Ryan than I am. Let's see if he can prove himself this week. Michael, sounds like you're right on the fence about who's going to win. Ian, Dave, thoughts?
I got Brett 90, Ryan 84. I think it's going to be a low-scoring matchup, but I see Brett coming away with it.
You got Ryan versus who?
Brett.
Who? See,
Brett Fowler, the guy who smacked your ass.
See, those are
Your daddy.
register. Ryan's gonna smoke him.
You probably just
know,
call him Dad.
He got lucky once. He's gonna tank this week.
Man, Brett smacked Dave so hard last week, he gave him a concussion.
Gave him the Tua treatment.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Tua soon.
Oh, man. But anyway,
Ryan will be
that's
back in
that's
4 to
your
6
Mixed
weeks.
Picks Volume 2.
All right.
Good
Mixed
stuff.
Pigs Volume 2. I love it. I can't wait for Volume 3, Volume 4. I can't wait for seasons from now when we get up to Mixed Pigs Volume 69.
That would be something. I'm looking forward to it,
The
Drew.
69th episode. What are you gonna do for that?
Mixed Pigs Volume 69.
Yeah, you gotta have a special theme.
We're gonna film the whole podcast from a 69 position.
Ooh, that's tough.
It's gonna
We
be
got-
hard for you to talk with my cock in your mouth.
Wow.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Cut.
We can't.
You
Jesus
can't
Christ.
say cock on television.
You can't say cock on the internet.
Kids watch this, David.
Do you know how many kids were Twitch streaming this to right now?
Drew, you're going to cut this, right?
Hell no.
Ah,
This is where the outro music starts.
No, we haven't done our outro comments yet.
what outro comments?
I'm
Fuck
looking
Dave,
forward to
see you
another
next
fun week. Yeah,
Eat a couple
You know,
bugs while you're out there.
yeah. Those fall bugs are coming out.
Stay
The
safe.
winter bugs are around the corner.
They're
Empty
gonna
the
be
notebook,
creeping
Ian.
inside. trying
Ian,
to
empty
escape
the
from
notebook.
cold.
What do you got? What notes?
What notes? About what? I got to save some for next week. I can't give you it all now. My
You're the
notes
greatest
is
podcast
literally...
hosts.
I have no notes. I have a recap of last week. I just wrote down power rankings off the top of my head and scribbled a bunch of them out as I was going. That's it. Those are my notes.
All right. Well, everybody, we're signing off. Thank you for listening. We will see you all in the group chat where I'm sure there's going to be some massive trash talking this week. Thanks and goodbye.